Hi, this is Chelle of Chelle's Creations. Today I want to talk with you about ways that you as a scrapper can use the CU Watercolor Brushes. Let's start with this layout. I have this layout nearly ready to go, but to me it kind of needs something, some oomph in the background. A pattern paper is too wild given the fact that we have all the bright colors of leaves in the background of the photos, but I just wanted a little something. First I took the leaves that were in Midnight Crow and I arranged them in somewhat of a swirly fashion, almost as if a breeze was blowing them in. But again, that still wasn't really the look I was going for, and the watercolor brushes are the perfect thing for what I'm looking for here. Let me show you what I did. I have those leaves arranged here and they have a drop shadow on them because I was looking at if I would like that style. So first let's remove the drop shadow and then let's just merge them together. Control or Command E will merge them all together. I want to paint with watercolor and I want to be able to see what I'm painting. These leaves have a bright color, so the first thing I'm going to do is put white solid color on them so that I can see what it is that I'm painting. And then I need a new layer for where I'm painting. Okay, now that I've got that on a new layer, I want to take colors that are in my photos. So first let's get that bright orange and let's make sure that we have that in place. I have my watercolor brushes are loaded in my brushes palette. So it's just a matter of choosing them. I'm going to choose this one right here, and I think I'll leave it at about the size that it is. I may want to go smaller and a little bit on the side of this one, and this is just where you get to have fun randomly painting a little here and there. You may want to rotate the brush or do other fun things with it. I'm going to switch to this one. I'm going to switch to, there's kind of a color in the background back here that's almost a green, an olive green. Let's do a little bit there. You know, I'd like it to be a little brighter than that, so let's bring that back up again. Let's pick and choose colors a little differently. It looks green to me in the picture. Boy, it isn't coming up very green with my color picker. Let's try this spot right here. Yeah, only I want a little lighter than that. There we go. Okay, let's add some green here, a little green here, a little bit of green down here, some green over here. Okay, I also want that pretty brown, there we go, that's in there. Let's go in and pick a different brush again. How about this one, that's 910. I'm going to change the size on this one, just make it a little bit smaller. Let's add a little brown there, a little brown there, smidgen here and there. I don't want it quite that large. I think I'll go much smaller for over there. And the last thing that isn't really in my photos, but I like the color, I want to add a golden yellow to it. Maybe even a little more bright gold than that. Okay. I think I'm going to rotate it this time just so that I can show you what to do. In your brushes palette, you can rotate the brush to a different direction. And add a smidgen of gold there and there. Make it a little bit bigger for right there. I want a tiny bit on that one as well. A little bit right there. Okay, and you can see I just have painted over everywhere that was going to show up white. Now, holding down your Command or Control key, let's click on the layer that has the leaves. But make sure that the layer that's selected is where we just did the watercolor painting, and Command or Control J to duplicate that. Now let's shut off all the things that we had in preparation for that. And what we have behind here is just kind of the leaves. Because of the watercolor, they're in a much more subdued format. If you wanted them to be more bold, you could add a second copy of it. You can go back to that first layer, change the blending mode to multiply if you would like that look better. It kind of fits in a little bit better with it. And even you can take the second copy, maybe you don't need a full second copy, and just lower the opacity on that one down till you get kind of the look that you're going for with just more of a muted copy of something in the background. So that's one way that you can use it. I've done a similar thing on this one. But instead of using an element from the kit on this one, I used in the custom shape tool, I used the butterfly. I made a bunch of butterflies and arranged them on the edge of the paper, kind of like a border here. And then I went ahead and painted. Let's repeat that paint process. Again, if they're black, I can't see what color I'm painting. I can't even see if I've got everywhere. So the next thing I want to do is add a new fill layer in white. Clip that to my, let's get rid of this one that I showed you as an example here. Okay, now we know where our butterflies are and we need a new layer. And then let's pick some of the aqua colors in here. Let's start with that one. You know, I keep starting with the color that I hope is dominant, and that's probably not my smartest choice. I should probably do that last. I just want to make sure that I have enough of it in there. Let's go a little bit smaller, a little more here, some over here, a smidgen up there, and a little there. You can do it on different layers if you want so that you can combine them. I also want a little bit of green in this one. Let's change the brush to, let's see, is that the one I just used? No, that is not. Change the size down a little, add some green here and there. Okay, let's go in and change another color. Let's go with more of the lime green and pick another brush. How about these little ones down here, like this 607? I like that one. A little lime there, a little more lime there, and a smidgen down here. And let's go back to more aqua colors. I don't want one that's quite that bright. Let's try that. What do we think? Oh, that's perfect. I love that. Okay, but we need a different brush so that they don't all look the same. Let's try this brush stroke. I don't want to fill up all that space because I've got green, so I'm gonna, no, don't like how that looks either. Let's see, what can I do? Let's try another brush. Ooh, like this one. That'll give me, yeah, enough to fill that space. Okay, I think that's everywhere that I've got a butterfly filled in, so same thing. Select your butterfly layer, go back to your painted layer, Command or Control J. That will duplicate just our painted butterflies. So there's our painted butterflies on the edge, and I'm going to change their blending mode to multiply so that they just fit in a little bit better. It's a matter of adding the rest of your embellishments and photos to the page. You may decide that you like the look to be a little lighter. Remember that you have the option of lowering the opacity on there so that it has more of a faded into the background look. You can leave it bold. You can do what you want that way, but there's another way that you can add just kind of that pretty watercolor look to the background. You can accomplish the same thing with titles. Let's see, here's a title. When you're doing titles, you're going to want to pick a font that has more of a painted brush look to it. Or I think you'll like it better if you do. This one is called Brush Tip. A couple others that I've noticed that might make good ones are Shotgun Wedding. It has a brush and almost erased here and there edge that would look really nice with it, and Brushstroke Fast is another brushstroke a font that you could use. Okay, so you type in your font, and then other than that, the concept is the same. New layer. I always need it in white so that I can see what it is that I'm doing. So let's go to white. And then do the same thing. We're going to paint with some brush strokes. Here and there. Let's pick a different one, a different color, and now that you can see what's in my photo, I'm going to pick some colors from my photo. Let's try that green. And let's try a lighter version. This light aqua right here will be pretty. Let's pick another one. Let's see, we haven't done that one yet. Control Command to select the outline of the text for smile, and Command or Control J to just duplicate that part, and then let's hide these layers that we don't need. Okay, there you go. Now that's when I mentioned that you may want to lighten that up. I don't think I would do both a title done this way and necessarily the background unless I made sure my colors there were matching, but I might, you know, fade that one into the background a little more. So you can do it with text. And one last thing that I want to point out with the text that you can do is kind of just the opposite. Let's hide those layers. Here I have the letters for love, and I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to use these up here, but I'm going to change the size by using my bracket keys to lower it until each one gets to be I think about 500, and then I just want to paint one on top of each of my letters here. So there's that one, and then let's do the next one in more of the bright and change brushes to this one. Lower the size to about 500 and paint on that one. New brush. Lower the size to 500. New color. Let's go with more of a green on this one. How about this lime green here? A little bit in between. And let's paint that one right there. And then the last one, let's go back to this aqua color, but go a little more vivid. Okay, I need a new brush. Change it in size down to 500 and stamp it right there. Okay, now this time we're going to use these letters to cut it out. So Command or Control, but instead of just extracting those parts with the Control J, this time I want to delete those parts. So I just hit the delete button, or the backspace or delete key, and there you go, remove from that spot. There's another fun thing. That one looks especially nice with these kind of faded into the background. Okay, so there are some tricks and tips that you can use to play with the CU watercolor brushes to add a pretty painted effect to your layouts. If you'd like more tips like these, be sure to join our Scrappers Club. The details are in the link below. If you have any questions, you can reach me at shells.creations1@gmail.com. Thanks. See you next time.